At 62 years old, Jodie Foster remains one of Hollywood's most brilliant and respected actresses. Yet, behind the acclaim, the awards, and the legendary status lies a series of personal and professional struggles that make her story profoundly heartbreaking. From the very beginning of her life in the spotlight, Foster was thrust into a world few children could navigate, starting her career at the age of 6 and quickly becoming a household name. But the cost of that early fame was immense as she spent her youth living under the scrutiny of cameras, carrying pressures and responsibilities far beyond her years. And though she gave extraordinary performances in films like Taxi Driver and later earned Oscars for The Accused and The Silence of the Lambs, the weight of her stardom was often isolating. Her teenage years were particularly traumatic, forever marked by the horrifying assassination attempt on President Ronald Reagan by John Hinckley Jr., who had become obsessed with her after watching Taxi Driver. A moment that not only shocked the world, but also permanently scarred Foster's sense of privacy and security as she was dragged into headlines for reasons beyond her control, forced to live under the shadow of someone else's madness. Even as she matured into adulthood, balancing the contradictions of being both a private intellectual and a public celebrity, she found herself struggling with relationships, identity, and the suffocating demands of an industry that often punishes women for aging. Though Foster eventually built a family and found love with Alexandra Edison, her road was paved with loneliness, secrecy, and years of hiding her true self from a judgmental public, only later in life speaking openly about her personal truth. The tragedy of her story is also tied to the sacrifices she made, often turning down opportunities to live a normal life, giving up her youth to work and forever being defined by the role she played rather than the person she was inside. She has spoken about the exhaustion of constantly being seen as a child star who survived when in reality surviving came at an immense emotional price. And even today at 62, though she stands as a symbol of resilience, the marks of that painful past remain. Her career, while decorated with achievements, also reflects the loneliness of someone who never truly had the chance to grow up away from the spotlight. And her struggles with Hollywood's harsh treatment of women her age remind us of the cruelty of an industry that often discards its icons once they no longer fit a marketable image. Foster's story resonates with fans not only because of her unmatched talent, but because her life embodies both triumph and tragedy. A reminder that even those who seem untouchable carry wounds that may never fully heal. At 62, her legacy is undeniable. Yet, the heartbreak lies in knowing that the journey to get here was lined with sacrifices, traumas, and personal battles that most people will never see. And though she continues to inspire through her work and strength, the tragedy of Jodie Foster is that the brilliance the world celebrates came at the expense of a childhood lost.